Leo, let me say it straight. Something you never saw coming is about to happen, and it's set to unfold at midnight, November 9th. This isn't superstition. This isn't hype. It's your moment. A divine moment. And if you lean in and really listen, you'll feel exactly why you were guided here. There's a reason you clicked on this video, even if you're not quite sure what that reason is yet. Maybe you woke up with a weird feeling in your chest. Maybe you've been sensing that something's shifting behind the scenes, something big. Or maybe life's been asking more of you than usual, and you're wondering when it's finally going to give something back. Whatever led you here, it's not random. It's not coincidence. It's alignment. And it's right on time. You see, November 9th at exactly 12 a.m. isn't just another mark on the calendar. It's a spiritual checkpoint. A cosmic doorway. And it's got your name on it. Not everyone will notice it. Not everyone will walk through it. But those who are ready will never see their lives the same way again. I'm not here to promise you that all your problems disappear at midnight. That's not how real transformation works. But what I can tell you from experience, from what I've seen in charts, in cards, and in people's lives is that moments like these don't come often. And when they do, the wisest thing you can do is pay attention. Leo, you've been carrying more than you show. You've been the strong one. The bold one. The one people lean on. But even lions get tired. Even the sun needs to rest before it rises. And what's coming next for you isn't just rest. It's renewal. It's a reawakening of everything the world tried to dim inside you. This isn't just about astrology. It's about the energy you've been giving without always receiving. The prayers you've whispered when no one was listening. The tears you've held back because someone needed you to be okay. The universe doesn't overlook that kind of devotion. And now, it's moving. For you. If you're still watching, I want to invite you to do something powerful, something that sends a clear signal out into the field. Write in the comments right now and say, I'm ready to receive what's been waiting for me. That one sentence said with real belief might be the start of something bigger than you've imagined. Now before we go deeper, let me say this. Thank you. Sincerely. Your presence here isn't just appreciated, it matters. Every comment you leave, every like you give, every time you hit that subscribe button, it's what allows this space, this family we call eternal mindfulness, to keep growing. Your energy, your attention, your hope, that's what fuels this. And I promise you, the message ahead is one you'll want to hear to the very last second. So let me ask you, what did your soul feel, just before you found this video? What nudged you here, today of all days? Trust that. Stay with me. We're just getting started. Because when the clock hits midnight, everything changes. Sometimes the soul knows before the mind does. That something is about to shift. That there's a door just ahead. Even if you can't see it yet. And Leo, this midnight 12 a.m. on November 9th is one of those rare doors. I don't say that lightly. These are the kinds of moments that don't show up with fanfare or noise. They arrive quietly. But if you're still and present enough to feel them, they change everything. We're not just talking about a calendar date here. In astrological language, this is a checkpoint written into your cosmic design. A soul contract moment. A kind of subtle bell ringing through your energetic field, saying, it's time. And the time is now. The kind of now that separates who you've been from who you're about to become. There's an image that's been with me since I first looked into your chart, Leo. It's like a tiny fracture, a hairline crack beginning to open across the surface of your life. Not to break you, but to let something through. A light. A message. A shift. Almost as if the veil between your current reality and what's been waiting in the wings is finally thin enough for you to step through. The sun, your ruling planet, has been obscured lately, hasn't it? Not fully gone, but clouded. You felt it in the heaviness in your chest, the way your confidence has flickered, the way your roar has grown quieter even when no one else noticed. But now the light is returning. The fog is lifting. And what's been stalled inside of you, your passion, your creativity, your voice, is stretching awake again. Numerologically, the number 9, the day of this shift, is no coincidence. It's the vibration of closure, of spiritual fulfillment, of endings that make space for beginnings. It's not the end of everything. It's the end of one version of you. The one who's been surviving. The one who's held it all together. The one who, frankly, is exhausted. You don't have to carry that version forward anymore. What makes this moment sacred isn't how loud it is, but how precise it is. The universe doesn't need spectacle to make miracles happen. It works in quiet coordinates. The right timing. The right energy. The right readiness. And you're ready now. Even if part of you is still scared. Even if part of you still doubts. But I want you to understand something deeply. Miracles are not accidents. They are responses. And this moment, this window, is a response to every step you've taken in faith. Every time you chose to rise instead of collapse. Every time you gave, even when you had nothing left. This is not about being chosen randomly. This is what happens when someone chooses themselves, even when it's hard. You've done the inner work. You've kept going. And now, the doorway opens. So I want to invite you to pause just for a second and really ask yourself, what part of me is ready to come alive again? What part of me has been waiting for this exact moment to rise? And if you feel something stir, even just slightly, I want you to write in the comments, I choose to step through. Not just as a reply to this video, but as a declaration to the universe. That you are no longer waiting. You are arriving. This is not the end. It's the beginning of your return. Your soul knew this moment was coming. And now, so do you. You've made it through more than you speak of. That's the first thing I want to acknowledge, because not enough people do. You've walked through seasons of quiet endurance, showing up for others while no one showed up for you. You've held your head high like the lion you are, even when the weight of silence was loud enough to crush your spirit. And still, you kept going. Not because it was easy, but because giving up never felt like an option. Leo, your journey hasn't been about failure. It's been about formation. And that matters. Because we often confuse silence for absence, delays for denial, or hard seasons for punishment. But what if I told you that what you've lived through wasn't rejection, it was refinement? What if the times you felt overlooked were really the moments you were being prepared? Not everyone survives the fire. But you didn't just survive it, you absorbed it. And now that fire is rising back inside of you, stronger than ever. Think of it like this: a lion doesn't roar while it's hunting. It waits. It watches. It calculates. It conserves its energy not out of fear, but out of intention. That's been you. Quiet, but not defeated. Holding back, but only until the moment is right. And now the moment is arriving. November 9th, at midnight. The return of your solar energy isn't some cosmic accident. It's a response. A resurgence of all that has been dormant. The sun is your ruler, and you've always known what it means to shine, but recently, that light has felt buried beneath responsibility, confusion, or emotional exhaustion. You may have even questioned your identity, doubted your own power, wondered if what once made you feel alive has disappeared. But that's the thing about true light: it never dies. It waits. It rebuilds itself in the dark. It re-emerges exactly when it's meant to, not a second earlier, not a second too late. And when it does come back, it doesn't just illuminate the world, it warms it. You, Leo, are about to become that warmth again. Not just for others, but for yourself. Because your rising isn't just about being seen. It's about being restored. The strength, the joy, the magnetism that has always lived in you. It's returning. And this time, you won't need to ask for permission to own it. Here's something practical you can carry with you as you move through this phase: color. I don't say that lightly. Color holds frequency. On November 9th, surround yourself with golden tones. Wear something golden, light a candle in that shade, even place something gold under your pillow. It represents the sun. Your core. Your sovereignty. Pair it with soft white, a symbol of clarity and renewal. This combination aligns with your essence: bold, but wise. Radiant, but clean. The world may not always reward quiet effort. But energy does. And if energy responds to emotion, to belief, then every act of resilience you've made in silence is already creating your reward. You don't need outside validation for that. You just need to trust what's waking up inside you. What's burning quietly beneath your chest, asking to be seen again, not because it needs attention, but because it's your truth. If you've ever felt like your roar was gone, if you've been living like the sun was setting on your story, I want to remind you, the sun always rises. And so do you. Now take a deep breath, and ask yourself this gently: am I ready to shine without apology? If your answer is yes, write it down. Right here, right now, I'm ready for my return. That single sentence sends a signal. And your time to rise has already begun. When things start to move in your life after a long period of stillness, it rarely feels like fireworks at first. It usually shows up as something small: a name you haven't heard in a while lighting up your screen, a sudden idea that won't let go, or a message that lands in your inbox and shifts the entire tone of your day. That's how the universe moves when it's subtle but serious. And Leo, you're in the middle of one of those exact moments right now. You might already be feeling it, a kind of opening energy. Like the air feels different, but you can't quite put your finger on why. This is the vibration of the wheel of fortune turning in your direction. For a long time, it's felt stuck. Maybe life's felt like a loop you can't break out of. Same bills, same patterns, same emotional weight. But when this card shows up in energy or in a reading, it never shows up quietly. It brings turning points. For you, this could look like a professional door opening that wasn't even on your radar last week. Something as simple as someone mentioning your name in the right room and a path begins to form. It might come in the form of a side opportunity, or a financial offer, or a message from someone who sees what you bring to the table. Don't dismiss the small things right now, because the small things are the pivot points. And there's something else happening, too, something more emotional. Some of you might notice a familiar face reappearing. Maybe it's someone who once played a big part in your life, and maybe it didn't end the way you hoped. If they return, it won't be by accident. Sometimes, the universe brings people back not to repeat history but to rewrite it. If it happens, stay curious. Listen. There may be healing in that conversation, even if it's brief. From a practical perspective, this is also the time to look at how energy has been flowing through your finances. Not just what you've been earning, but what's been silently leaking. Take a moment to review the subscriptions, the forgotten auto payments, the patterns that don't reflect the version of you that's rising now. This isn't about cutting back in fear. It's about making space for alignment. You might also discover something unexpected: a refund, a payout, a resource that was always there but you didn't see because you were too busy surviving. This kind of financial clarity is empowering, not controlling. When you align your spending with your values, when your money reflects what matters most, you start to feel more in command of your life. Not because everything's fixed, but because you're finally steering your energy where it serves you best. I want you to really think about what kind of shift is knocking on your door. Not in theory but in reality. Maybe it's been knocking gently for weeks, or maybe it just tapped today. Either way, this is your moment to answer. Don't just wait to see if it happens. Show up to it. Speak to it. If something resonated with you here, if you felt even a small nudge, I want you to write it in the comments. I feel the shift, and I'm ready to receive it. This is more than a comment. It's an energetic contract. And when you declare your readiness, the universe starts moving with you, not around you. Because what's coming isn't random. It's recognition. And you've earned it. Some endings don't need drama. They just happen in silence, in the space between one breath and the next. And Leo, if you've been noticing a soft drift in your emotional world lately, it's not your imagination. It's part of the shift we've been talking about. There are relationships in your life that served a sacred purpose and they did it well. But not every connection is meant to last forever. Some arrive to teach, to mirror, to anchor us when we needed it. And then, when the time comes, they naturally begin to fall away. Not because of anger. Not because of betrayal. But because your frequency has changed. And staying would mean shrinking who you are becoming. It's a strange kind of grief, the quiet kind. When nothing bad happened, and yet everything's different. You might not even know how to explain it to anyone. And that's okay. Because not all healing needs words. Sometimes the soul just knows. You're not breaking bonds. You're allowing alignment. Like two streams that once ran together, slowly flowing in different directions. No fight. No resistance. Just trust that your new path needs new energy and your heart knows it. This is also a time when the presence of someone who's no longer here physically might feel closer than usual. Maybe it's a grandparent, a parent, or a loved one who always knew how to calm you when the world felt too heavy. You might feel them in dreams, or in the way the wind moves through the curtains, or the way a certain phrase lands in your mind, like it wasn't your own thought. That's not fantasy. It's resonance. Some connections never leave. They just shift form. And in your quietest moments, they're still guiding you. Still keeping watch. If love has felt confusing lately, whether it's romantic or not, take this moment to pause. To come back to yourself. Love, real love, doesn't demand urgency. It doesn't force timelines or chase clarity in chaos. If someone new is entering your life, don't rush to define it. Let it unfold. Let your nervous system decide before your mind does. Notice how you feel when you're with them. Do you soften? Do you breathe easier? That's the kind of love worth building on. And if you're healing from a relationship that took too much or gave too little, be gentle with yourself. You're not weak for loving hard. You're not foolish for hoping. You're human. And your capacity to feel deeply even when it hurts is what makes you extraordinary. The goal isn't to close off. It's to learn how to keep your heart open while staying anchored in your own worth. Physically, your body may be processing just as much as your emotions right now. Around November 9th, try to support your system with intention. Reduce stimulants like caffeine and sugar. They can spike anxiety and dull your ability to sense subtle shifts. Instead, drink warm water or calming herbal tea. Before sleep, give yourself 5 minutes of deep breathing. No phone, no screen, just your breath. Let your body exhale everything it's been holding in. You don't need to fix everything in one day. You don't need to have it all figured out. Sometimes healing happens simply by making space, by letting what no longer fits quietly fall away, and by staying present for what's trying to come in. If this resonates with you, I invite you to affirm it in the comments. Write, I release what no longer serves me, and I open to love that brings peace. Let it be your quiet contract with the universe, a promise to honor your heart without rushing it. Because you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from wisdom. And that changes everything. At a certain point, clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from becoming still. From pausing long enough to let the deeper part of you speak, not the part that plans, but the part that remembers. And on the night of November 9th, at exactly midnight, that stillness becomes more than a practice. It becomes a portal. Rituals don't need to be dramatic to be powerful. In fact, the most potent ones are often the most simple, because what makes them work isn't the act itself, but the intention behind it. This is not about superstition. It's about energetic alignment. And when you bring your full presence to a moment like this, when you show up with sincerity and clarity, something shifts, not just around you, but through you. So here's what I'd love for you to do. At midnight, wherever you are, find a quiet space. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need crystals or incense or the right playlist. All you need is you. Light a single white candle, not because the candle is magic, but because it signals to your body and your energy field that something intentional is about to begin. White represents clarity. Clean slates. Open channels. Then close your eyes, place your hands on your heart or lap, and breathe slowly, deeply 3 full cycles. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. Let your body arrive fully. Let the noise of the day fall away. And when you feel even a small sense of calm, say what you desire. Not with desperation. Not from lack. But from wholeness. Speak it as if it's already real. This is the key. You're not begging. You're not pleading. You're confirming. This is the energetic language the universe understands, gratitude as declaration. When you vibrate from that space, when your body, mind, and emotions align in the knowing that what you ask for is already making its way toward you, you become a magnet. And the law of attraction responds not to your words, but to your frequency. You might ask for clarity around your next step. You might name a goal you've been afraid to say out loud. You might ask for healing, peace, reunion, or release. There are no wrong answers. What matters is that it's honest. It's personal. And it comes from the part of you that's finally ready to receive. It may help to whisper, or write down, a single affirmation to seal this moment. I receive my miracle with deep gratitude. I am worthy of the good that is arriving. That line isn't just for the candlelight. It's a vibration that echoes long after the flame fades. It's your way of telling the universe, I'm not waiting for proof. I'm standing in trust. Because in truth, miracles rarely show up when we're forcing things. They arrive when we become soft enough, still enough, present enough to notice how much has already changed. So much of what you've hoped for is already in motion. But motion doesn't always feel like momentum. Sometimes it feels like quiet. Like peace. Like being held, even if only by your own breath. If tonight feels sacred to you, it's because it is. You were never meant to chase after life. You were meant to align with it. To walk into it, slowly and consciously, at the exact hour it opens to meet you. Now is that hour. So tell me in the comments not what you fear, but what you choose to receive. What are you ready to allow into your life, starting now? Write it as if it's already yours. Because it is. Tomorrow is a big day. But let's be honest with each other, the real shift doesn't happen just because the clock strikes midnight. It begins the moment you decide that you are ready for more. That you are worthy of what you once thought was reserved for everyone else. It begins when you remember that you don't have to chase the light. You are the light, and your only job now is to stop dimming it. This entire journey, Leo, has never been about waiting for something or someone to save you. It's been about preparing for the moment when you finally realize you were always the one holding the pen. You're not the character. You're the author. And your next chapter begins when you take full authorship of what happens next. I want to remind you of something simple but powerful: energy flows where intention goes. That's why your ritual tonight, no matter how small it seems, holds weight. It's not about what you do perfectly. It's about what you do consciously. Maybe that means you give yourself 10 quiet minutes in the morning on November 9th to breathe, journal, and realign. Maybe it means you sit with your feelings instead of rushing past them. Or maybe you write down one thing you're grateful for, even if it's just the fact that you woke up today with breath in your lungs. Whatever it looks like, choose one thing. And do it with presence. Because presence is what turns an ordinary moment into a sacred one. And you, Leo, are standing on sacred ground not because of what's around you, but but because of what's awakening within you. Now I want to ask you something, and don't rush your answer. What's one belief you're ready to rewrite tonight? What's one habit, thought, or story you're willing to release to make space for what's next? And most importantly, what would it look like if you truly allowed yourself to receive? If something in this video stirred your heart, even a little, I invite you to affirm it in the comments. Let the universe hear your voice. What are you claiming as yours today? And if you feel moved, give this video a like as a quiet thank you to the energy that brought you here. It may seem small, but it's an act of resonance. And when we share energy that uplifts, it finds its way to the people who need it most. This is Eternal Mindfulness, a space where every soul is seen, healed, and gently reborn. Thank you for being here. For showing up, not just to this video, but to your own growth. Your presence means more than you know. And from the deepest part of my heart, I believe in where you're going next. So tell me in the comments, what's your first step forward, now that you remember who you truly are? You are not waiting for the miracle. You are becoming the space where miracles happen. Stay close, your story is just getting started.